Hell and back, bitch. Lately I've been.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nyia Harris here for Power 104.7, your home for hip hop and R&B. And I have to tell you, actually, let me first say this before I tell you that. Power 104, through the Center of Broadcast Journalism, Power 104.7 is training the next generation of journalists and changing who gets to tell their stories. We deliver hands-on intensive training with award-winning professionals, then put our students straight to work in the real newsroom right here at Power 104.7. This mission matters now more than ever, and we need your support. Help us diversify newsrooms across the state with a tax-deductible donation for the Center of Broadcast Journalism. No gift is too small, and every dollar makes an impact. Donate now at centerforbroadcastjournalism.org. Okay, so here's what I want to tell you. Thanks for joining me, by the way. My guest today, Jason Soul, is an author, professor, husband, father, community activist. Did I leave anything out, sir?
I mean, Humanize My Hoodie movement, Institute of Aspiring Abolitionists, Relationships Evolving Possibilities.
Okay. We'll get to it.
Most definitely.
I'm so delighted to have my guest, Jason Soul, as I mentioned, in studio with me. I feel like I'm going to be standing for this interview. So
Okay.
Full disclosure, Jason and I, for every interview, I have the interviewee come in about a half hour early, get comfortable, get acclimated to the space. We chatted up a little bit. I was so enthralled with the story. It was like I felt like I was in a movie listening to you, that I didn't hop on right at 3:30. So sorry about that, listeners. You can pop this back on, by the way.
Sure.
Thank you. So I'm so excited to talk with you today. We talked a while back. Shout out to Classics and Cream. We were over there and we had a great conversation. So I was really looking forward to today. Usually start off with pop culture, world events, weekends, but I just want to dive right into it because as long as I have you, I want you to share as much of your story as you feel comfortable.
I'm down.
After all, this is Open Book with Nyia Harris. No question off the table, sir.
Sure.
But first and foremost, let me say this. How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
You're doing amazing?
I am.
Why are you doing amazing?
I'm at peace with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do the hard work every day. I keep my head down and I stay true to the culture. So for me, I have a peaceful spirit. So that's what keeps me going. Just being able to say every day I wake up, like, am I doing the work? Am I in the right places? And for me to land here, I know I'm in the right places. So
Yes.
I ran into people on my way coming in here. It was good energy, always love. And that's what makes me feel amazing,
Yeah.
being in real community.
Being in real community. Well, that
Sure.
you are. I'm trying to navigate in my head because we talked about so many things before we got started here,
Yeah.
like where I want to go, because we only have an hour and
Yeah.
like that's not enough time for your whole story.
all
But
good.
high level overview for those who don't know, right? For the few people, for like the 3 people who don't know who you are.
I don't know. No, people don't know. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not in a lot of the places you think I should be. So
Okay.
a lot of people don't know.
Okay, but people might know you from being out in the community,
Most definitely.
right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, for the people who don't know, and maybe a refresher for the people who do know, right? You're originally from Chicago,
Yep. Born and raised.
born and raised. You came here when you were 18.
Yep.
18. Did you come by yourself?
No, I came with a couple cousins.
What's some
One has
cousins?
since passed, and may he rest in peace. But I came here, really feeling like I got cheated in high school. You know what I mean? Because I played ball. My grades was always tight, but I always got in trouble and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like I knew I could have went further, and when that didn't happen, I probably got a little depressed or whatever. But when I was finding myself, I came to Minnesota just by way of like exploration. It was like they said this was the place with milk and honey.
Yeah.
So it was like I came here and got
Yeah.
in trouble right away. So yeah, Chicago raised me, and I grew up with a lot of black pride. It's like you got to think from kindergarten through my sophomore year, I only went to school with black people. I never went to school with any other race.
Yeah.
So for me, I knew who I was. I knew who Paul Lawrence Dunbar was. I knew who Mayor Harold Washington was. I saw black power and black culture through even, I say, the Nation of Islam and other people. They had their own ways of existing without leaning on the government. So I
Sure.
grew up with examples of leadership, and I just knew when I got my shot at leadership, I'd do the right thing, but it kind of fell flat. and I ended up in Minnesota, and it worked out eventually. But
Yeah.
I went through a lot of struggle and a lot of that stuff we was talking about before, because they looked at me not considering that I had a full life. I went to prom. I did everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Went to all the dances. I mean, every one of them.
You had a full life up
Full
to 18.
life.
Yeah.
And then they
Very
was
familiar.
acting like I just was a menace to society. And I was like, I wasn't ready for that shift.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, I navigated eventually, and I'm glad to have things on track. So that's a little bit about how I got here.
Yeah.
And, I was 18 years old when I got, I just turned 19. I was 3 weeks into being 19 when I got arrested for a firearm.
Okay. And we're gonna touch on that, and we're gonna move on.
Okay.
So you had 3 charges in total, right?
Yeah.
What were those 3 charges?
So I had first-degree possession of a firearm, a first-degree possession of a controlled substance, which later was dropped to second degree, and another first-degree possession. But that charge started as like first-degree sales with district. It started higher, but like I said, I got set up, and I just didn't have all the things I needed to prove it. But
Sure.
that got dropped to a second degree as well. So those were the felonies. And like I said, this page is a misdemeanors just because we were targeted. We all had our licenses revoked. We all got the tint ripped off our windows because it was Operation Heat out here. That was the name of it, where police didn't need probable cause. So they see my face. I'm walking down University. It's, you know, the holidays for most people, but, you know, we just kicking it. And they would always let my friends go and keep me and put me in the car and take my shoes off and make me put my feet in water. Wild stuff. So we got a lot of stories of just some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff was me missing court dates, and, you know, I take ownership over my stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was the war on drugs.
Wow. Well, like I said, we're going to touch on that, but I want to fast forward a lot to something that just happened to you just before Christmas. What happened?
Got a pardon. I got pardoned by the state of Minnesota.
Full pardon.
So all of that stuff goes away, and I'm just so relieved, man. It was a long battle, 4 years of trying to get pardoned, and to actually get it, I'm ecstatic. So
Yes.
grateful for everybody who supported, who signed a petition, who showed up August 1st, the people who supported December 17th. Just grateful the community had my back.
Absolutely. And to start the new year fresh, right?
Absolutely.
You said something earlier. We talked about a lot, as you know, before we got started here. But you said, I've got my free papers. That gave me chills when you said that.
Yeah.
Say more.
So I trust that there's nothing on there if I get pulled over. I trust that when I get to the border, you know, and go to Canada a couple of months, I trust that they're not going to ask me anything about my past. I think my passport should be equivalent to everybody else's now. But before, I needed supporting documents. Like, I needed references when I traveled across the border every time. So shout out to Shannon Prince, shout out to Kevin Brooks. They always wrote letters on my behalf to get me across.
Yeah.
But I texted them last week like, hey, I don't need y'all letter. I got my free papers. So if anything comes up, I got my own papers with a seal on it that says, you know, what you looking at shouldn't be there.
Yes.
And that's a different feeling than feeling like I'm going to be searched or turned around, or always having my lawyer number on my arm just in case I get arrested. So I get to go with a level of calm now that, you know, is newfound. You know?
So are there any trips on the horizon? Any trips planned?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
No. Because like I said, I didn't know if it was going to happen. So
Yeah.
I don't like to like celebrate too early.
Sure.
Now I'm dreaming. Now I'm ready to think like that. But before, it's like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of changes might happen until I get it. I'm not planning anything, but now, of course,
You're
know,
ready
it's
to
like,
plan.
Of course,
Yes.
of course.
Yes. A trip for the family, right?
Absolutely, most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you. Just amazing. I've been watching your story. Of course, like I said, we connected, and I learned so much about you, and you're just incredibly inspiring.
Thank you.
We talked a little bit before we came on the air too about, you know, raise your hand if you haven't ever done anything dumb when you were 18, like, right? Like,
For sure.
and it's just a matter of if you get caught or not, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has done something stupid, you
For
know?
sure.
And what I like when you tell your stories, what I like is that you you do take accountability. You say,
Yeah.
I did do this and I shouldn't have. And,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
yeah. I'm wondering, what is like the number one thing on your list? Because we want to stay positive here. The number one
Yeah.
thing on your list for 2026 that you aspire to do now that you have your free papers.
Well, I gotta really share the story. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
please.
I gotta put the next book together. So
Okay.
I'm writing. Like I said, I've been able to see a lot of different things. So I started as an organizer 2004. So after the felonies, after like getting caught with a gun, after going to prison for 40 months for drugs, and even that was based off a faulty warrant. I had a driving warrant. So this was a warrant because, you know, they revoked my license for something I had paid for. So I always thought I had a level of freedom and they snatch it away. But going away for 40 months, I was dreaming of doing something when I came home. And when I came home 2002, I was working and working. I lived in the project, so a lot of people knew Magnolia Apartments. It's the trenches, drug dealers, all kind of stuff. But I always been good in community. So I made it through that, got my credit right, went to Metro State, and that's when everything changed for me. You know what I mean? So going to Metro State, I became an organizer. I was president of the Black Student Union. So we were the most radical. I volunteered for Angela Davis. That was amazing. Then Marion Wright Edelman gave me my job as a teacher. So for me, looking back 21 years, I need to be able to share that. So it's like we talking about some documentary stuff. We talking about the book. Like I got too many stories that I need to share. Like just like I was sharing before we came on here.
Yeah.
It's like the journey was hard, but if you seeking a pardon, make sure you good with your family and community before you try and shoot for something in front of everybody, because you might go through some hits. It might look like you're going to get it, and you don't want people questioning, because you might see in some of the comments, every time I put something about my pardon on there, people say, wait, what did you do? What did you do? And I'm like, yeah, I got caught with a firearm. Yeah, I had drugs on me. Yeah, this, and this. And I'm like, not trying to minimize it, but it's like, at what point should I be forgiven?
Right.
So I think my next project will help us be able to understand, like, what is redemption? Can everybody have it, or does it cut off right here? So it's going to be thought-provoking, and I'm going to write in a few different, like, styles and stuff. So I'm excited. So that documentaries.
Sounds like another book.
Yeah, and just, you know, really dreaming. It's even some music stuff for Humanize My Hoodie. So So we got a lot of things that we cooking up, and it just feels good to be like calm enough to hold all the buckets. But being able to teach about pardons, what are they? If you're going to apply, what paperwork do you need?
Right.
What stories do they want you to tell in order to like really be able to see that you've been redeemed? A lot of people don't know that, and it's like it's a lot of women who could use the information. So I'm going into prison. So I've always gone into prisons for free. I just say, sign me up. I just want to try and inspire them, let them know you don't got to stay stuck in a cell. Like, you can get out of here. You can go to college, or you can learn a trade, or you can come up with a movement that you got inside of you. I've always inspired, but I'm excited to go back in the women prison now and say, hey, I'm pardoned. Like I told y'all, like things will get better.
Yes.
And now y'all can see it for me. So if you ever want to come, like I invite people with me to come to the North Dakota Women's Prison. I go all throughout the country. So it's like, even in California, I've been to a lot of juvenile facilities there, Philadelphia. I do it for free. I just go there and just with the thought of inspiring somebody to know it ain't never a dead end. They can always tell you it's bleak. I didn't let that stop me from being a professor. I didn't let that stop me from telling all these stories in my memoir.
Yeah.
Stuff I'm telling you about is in my book. And it's like, people were like, you gonna talk about that? And I said again, I'm of the community. I got to let my friends and family read it first.
Yeah.
And I had smoked some of my aunties and stuff, man. Like, don't say that about grandma. You got to not do that. And I had to, like, stand on stuff and had to take stuff out just for the sake of loving my community.
For sure.
So when I put it out to the world, I wasn't worried about what criticism or feedback I got. My main people, my day ones, agree with it. So it wins.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing my groundwork before I'm ready to release or launch something.
Wow. Yes, I'm interested, by the way, so we can talk
sure.
about that offline.
Most definitely.
And I'm a person who loves I'm a reader. So I love books, but I love documentaries. I love
Sure.
human interest pieces. So like you already have my attention. So
For sure.
we'll talk more about that. Wow. So you are basically an advocate now, right? You are an advocate. I mean, you're with your story, right? Like you just said, things can be bleak. You might think you're going to get it. You don't get it. So all of the people who are riding with you, like, well, what happened? All of that, right? You get to this point where you have been fully pardoned, and you are certainly inspiring people along the way.
For sure.
And now you're an advocate.
Yeah. I mean, it's people reaching out from Utah, all over, you know, but I've already received a lot of people saying, and these are people who, by all accounts, you would deem them successful. Because when I looked at his signature and stuff, I'm like, oh, fam working out there. Like, he in charge of a lot of things. And I was like, then I got another one from somebody who worked for the county. They was like, this don't affect me, but seeing what you did, I think I could withstand that. I think I can go through that process. And I'm like, so it's a lot of people saying, hey, how can you help me get through this? People in Wisconsin are saying, we right here. Can we get pardoned? My people in South Dakota and North Dakota and the 23 nations are saying, what is that pardon stuff you talking about? So for me, the political education is more important than me being an advocate. It's more like, how many people can I train to be able to support somebody who's willing to go through? Because it's public scrutiny. I had 10 minutes to talk about 3 felonies, and I had to humanize myself. So you on the clock to be able to get through those 3 felonies and have remorse and do all the things they want to see to show
Check
that.
all the boxes.
Absolutely. So the clock ticking. 3 felonies, I had to really tighten it up. And it got to a point where they asked me, well, they said, you at 8.5 minutes. And I just had to put that paper out. It ain't about
Speak from the heart. Yeah.
That's what I had to do, and just say, it ain't about none of this. Like, I made good with my mama who had to wear these felonies. Whenever they asked about where Jason was at, she had to say, he in the hospital because he shot up. He can't walk for 6 months. Or he in the jail cell now. He's serving a few. Making it up to them was always more important than whether the state, saw me as this or never cared.
Yeah.
I'm good with the people who had to change my diapers and stuff. Like, that's what I'm trying to keep good. And then from there, I build community and go beyond. So it's about really saying, be pardoned by the people. Make sure you good. Make sure you go back to that conversation where people say you was ducking from. Go back to that thing where it's like, it was a lot of violence amongst families when I got shot up. To be able to be good with the people I had smoked with back then, and we don't want nothing ill of each other, it took work. So my whole message is, get good with the community and stuff first, because if you just try and shoot out there, it might be people who say, no, I'm showing up against that.
Yeah.
Because they ask, any victims want to come, Jason Soul victims?
Yeah.
And at that point, you just sitting there. You know what I mean?
Like, you gotta be prepared for whatever comes your way.
Absolutely.
Right?
So I think I'm going to be more so showing people, this is how you do it. But if you want to do it right, this is the way you go, man. Be good with the people, man.
Yeah, let me show you the path.
Absolutely.
I completely skipped the first break because I was like, no, we got to keep going because there's a lot here. There's really a lot here. We are going to switch over. I don't know if I even shared with you. Look I'm all off my game, Jason.
Good. That's all right. It's all right. It's a new year. We're having a good time. So that's what matters, man.
First half hour is live, and then the second half hour we switch to podcast mode. So what I didn't get an opportunity to share with you is when we switch, I always leave with a cliffhanger. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you're not going to answer till the other side, okay?
All right.
So you've been through a lot. Like, some would even say like 9 lives type stuff, right? Sure. What do you attribute that to? Do you have several guardian angels? Do you believe in divine intervention? What is that? Why do you think you've been spared all of these time? If you have been listening to Power 104.7, your home for hip hop and R&B, I know that the format was a little bit different today, but I'm telling you, Jason has stories for days, and I got sucked in because they're so good, and there's a very powerful message there. So I want to thank you right now for listening. But you can, in just a few days, check out my YouTube channel, Open Book with Nyia Harris, where you can see this episode in its entirety. We might even go just a couple minutes longer just to give you some extra. But I appreciate you so much for tuning in and listening, and have a wonderful day. All right, we are back in podcast mode. My guest here, Jason Sold. I gave you a cliffhanger here. Yeah. What was my cliffhanger? Do you remember?
What do I attribute? No, you got to say it for me.
Okay. Usually I have it written down, so I'm going to have to go off the top of my head. Okay, so you basically have gone through a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And so some might say like 9 lives or, so why have you been spared? Why have you been the chosen one, so to speak, right? You know what I mean? Because a lot of those instances that you gave me, you might not be here today, right? Yeah. So why do you think do you believe in divine intervention or a guardian? Like, do you have several guardian angels? Like, what do you think it is?
Yeah, I definitely think ancestors are watching over me. I do believe, whether it's God or Allah, it's an entity out there definitely pulling some of these strings, because like I can dream and hope for stuff, but it always feels like something else was at work. But I had a lot of responsibility in Chicago as a kid. Mm-hmm. So you saw me at 10 years old catching a bus throughout Chicago. I was a paper boy by the time I was 13, working for the Chicago Sun-Times. Mm-hmm. I always felt like it was something I had to do. Mm-hmm. Like my mom used to be looking like, hey, man, you better be safe when you're going through those neighborhoods. But I never felt it was a neighborhood in Chicago I couldn't go into. And these are very dangerous neighborhoods. So I just always felt like I was meant to do something, and I just needed time to do it. So even at 14, 15, when I started selling drugs, I'd be happy I got thousands of dollars I can count out in the lunchroom, but I would always say to people, I'm not doing this forever. At 14 and 15, I used to say, this is getting us through. We can have some more peanut butter cookies and stuff like that, but I am not in this for life, even when I signed on to a gang. And you got to think, there's people who join gangs. My gang was 500 deep. To leave a gang of that magnitude, you got to have some courage to it. You got to definitely do it with humility, or they'll say, you ain't going nowhere. You trying to go to college? You trying to do, but it was supportive. And I was scared of that conversation because these guys are serious about the gang world. So for me, I just always felt like if I step into the stuff that's most uncomfortable, I always grow within it. So it's like I didn't want to be put on display and my family put on display for this pardon. I really didn't want it, because it's like I just didn't need to lift my story up in front of everybody, because it triggers some people. Like, them guys know why I had the gun. They know why, but it's drudging up, all the people who knew me at that time. I was willing to go through it just to say, all right, hopefully I did it, so maybe you don't have to go through it. Maybe you get an easier process, or maybe we get more women through this process now, or maybe we start looking at it like this. So I always know it's something more on the other side of it. So it's like, even when I left my job in the mayor's office 2019, I resigned on Martin Luther King Day. That was the busiest MLK Day in St. Paul history, but that's how I am, and I'm willing to take whatever blowback, politically, personally. And it's like, we got a lot of families. My wife got a lot of, families. She got 9 siblings. So that ripple with other black families, with other community members, people looking at this from prison, it's a huge ecosystem. So it's like, I always want to be good to the culture, because I am a guest here. They invited me here, wasn't showing my best at first. Now it's like I've raised my kids here, and it's like my wife doing amazing here, and we're on the better side of things. So I attribute it to the community. It's too many things. That's why I don't like naming things. It's like my mom still, I still get advice from my mom where it's like, I don't necessarily take it.
That was my follow-up question. Do you take it?
I love anybody who willing to show me something I might have a blind spot on. And I'm not in a rush or moving so fast that I'm causing harm. I'm poised. I'm here with you. I'm not all on my phone. I'm right here. I do that in my entire life. When I'm with you, I'm with you. People have felt that, since I was younger. So I think having a purpose was one thing. trying a lot of religions when I was younger. I used to go get the pancakes at church on 83rd and Jeffrey when I was a kid. But I was going to church 2 years for them pancakes. Then it was like I became Muslim. Then I was leading people in the temple. Then it was like I was like, man, I can't really keep up with these books, and I don't got the discipline to go every Friday. Can I do like this? So I always was willing to confront my challenges publicly. Even in 2014 when I said, I might be struggling with the trans community. I said, I don't think I am, though. I was on KFAI at the time, and I said, I don't think I am. But if I am, I'm willing to, and I said that in the Strip, too, and then I hosted the Trans Equity Summit.
Okay.
So it's like in the places where I feel like I'm short in society or I'm treating people different or less than, like it might be an atheist or somebody, I don't really care what you believe. I just got the belief that you can be an amazing person. I think everybody has one book in them. I think everybody got a movement to get to. So I'm a team player, and I think having that mantra throughout sports, throughout organizing, throughout every facet of my life, I know I'm a part of a team. So I try to like operate from that place. So I think knowing that I'm from a village and knowing that my great-great-grandmothers went through stuff and knowing that, I ain't out here for play. I'm focused.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
So,
Jason.
and I wish I had some of those lessons when I was younger. I don't think I would have went off path because, like I said, I loved school. I loved competing academically. And you got to think the war on drugs hit in 1994. And they started snatching a lot of black kids in Chicago. My uncle went to prison at 12 and came home at 18.
He went to prison at 12?
For something he didn't do. And he went in there with grown men. So it was
at
like
12?
12. He missed a lot of his good years, and it hurt him in a lot of ways. He living in Milwaukee now. But it's like, that's my mom's youngest brother. And then my dad was a heroin addict my entire, life. He started at 16 and he overdosed 3 years ago at 62. It was heroin his whole life. It was fueled by it. He never had a job, one job his whole life. So I didn't have the stability. So it's like at a young age, my mom and all my black aunties and my big sister used to say, man, if you don't step up and get us. So it's like when I started slipping in 1994, my mom sent me to Waterloo, Iowa. And I'm like, you talk about being challenged.
Yeah.
Going to a whole white state. I'm from Chicago is black. Southside Chicago is like, to go to Waterloo, Iowa, where they barely could understand my language.
Yeah. Who was in Waterloo, Iowa?
My auntie.
Oh, your auntie. Okay.
She moved down there, my mom's big sister. So
okay. I was like, how did you
yeah, but at that time, my cousins got sent here. One of my cousins got sent to North Minneapolis. One of my other cousins went to Atterbury, Indiana for Job Corps. 1994, you got to think about the crime bill. That crime bill, they were snatching kids up, throwing them in a cage. Shout out to Troshawn McCoy, man. He got snatched up. We were sophomores. He was on our basketball team. He had game. We trying to win the city of Chicago. We hooped that hard. And they snatched him up for murder. And we like, man, he got life? We was 15. He just came home about 5 years ago.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, like he killing it now. He just got a settlement. They got to get him right.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm around a bunch of people who getting redeemed. So that's what feels good, where it's like they wiped us off the map. They said stuff about us, lied on us, made our crime seem way more. And now we get to tell our story. So it's like I think the belief that the community put in me after I fell from grace 2005, because a lot of people believed in me and I let a lot of people down.
Okay.
I mean, Freedom School, like I could name a whole lot of, I was like the face of a nonprofit that was led by a black woman, and it was about mentoring black kids. I was the face of it all throughout here. And I had to go through this struggle where I lost my cars. I was struggling in school because it's like, I can't keep up with everything. Like, I'm on bail. My bail was $75,000. So I had moments where some people would fold, where I said, like, man, you're not going to break me. Man, you can throw all this shit at me. Man, you can throw it all at me.
Yeah.
I'm not folding. So I had that mentality when I was a kid. So an officer trying to stop me and say I'm doing something wrong, I stand up and say, we ain't doing nothing wrong, and I know this is not right. But going to college and studying what these laws are, what is the 4th Amendment? How does the 13th Amendment? When I got lost in that, I never thought it would lead to other things, and it just did. So I feel like always being prepared, always like treating people good, always saying, I'm going to get to this goal. I don't got to lie to nobody. I don't got to swindle nobody. I don't got to promise something I can't deliver on. I could put in this work brick by brick, and I will get to where I want to get to. So having that focus allows me to block out the noise and say, I could leave this job for 100 G's and start from the bottom.
Yeah.
I can leave for 5 years, not say nothing, come right back, step right into my spot of leadership, of whatever. So it's like, that's what feels good to me, knowing like I'm not chasing relevance or none of the things that other people are chasing. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to live a very public life. I like having heart-to-heart connections. I take that over
Well, let me say
all those
this.
other things.
Because, okay, let me first ask this question. Do you have any political aspirations?
Not at all.
Okay. Have people approached you about that?
They always do. You know
Okay.
they do. You know they do. Always.
Why do you think that they do?
They see something that I just don't see. They see I'm transparent. I ain't got to put on no airs. I don't got no gimmicks. I'm coming to work in a hoodie. When I worked in the mayor's office, I wore a hoodie every day. I said I'm coming as myself, and it was agreed upon that I'm not shuffling at any moment. Any dinner or whatever, I'm coming as myself. So I think just saying I'm gonna do the work, and I'm gonna work twice as hard in this space. I was president of the Minneapolis NAACP for 2 years as well, and I said that's as close to that world. And I've endorsed a lot of people, you know. So behind the scenes, I've thrown barbecues for people. I support behind the scenes, but I just don't endorse people like I used to because I've been let down too many times. So I don't got the skin that it takes to play in that world. I don't got the willing and dealing of it all. Like, I be straight up, and I'm not playing across political lines and trying bipartisan. Nah. So
But you speak for the people.
Yeah,
when you just said a moment ago, I like this heart to heart.
Yeah.
Right. That's what's needed in government right now. Right.
It don't fit. I brought it as best I can. So I worked in the mayor's office for 10 months, and by all accounts, I definitely led a public safety conversation that every ward appreciated. I went to every neighborhood, west side, east side, Rice Street, where there had been crime. I'm a part of the community. So I knew that we could reduce crime simply by, changing a few things or knowing which prison releases the most people to St. Paul. I had a few strategies that I knew would work. So I just think, like, for me, politically, you got to do things that that might make you compromise your values. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty much straight up. Like, I'm not going to go to a meeting and if you do this and you can get this. I don't like that world. I like to create with people who see the vision, and when we do it, we feel real good about the outcome, whether it is a graphic novel or it's a children's book, or my collaborations make me happy. And people know I've had collaborations with Colin Kaepernick. John Legend gave me an award.
Okay.
I've had some real highlights in my life that I'm very proud of and happy that they even saw value in working with me. But I hold them dear to where it's like, should I ask Colin Kaepernick to help me with my next thing? I'm like, I don't even want to offend the relationship because I don't have much of a direct line to him. His friend is good to me, and that's my connection. And I gave Colin Kaepernick $10,000, five years ago. That's the extent of it, though. But it's like, now I'm in relationship with people like that because I kept it tight. I never shared it out like publicly or, hey, I know this person.
Yeah.
But it's
name dropping.
Yeah, and there's some people now where it's like, now I'm ready to circle back to them and say, what is the work? So I believe in my collaborations more than I believe in politically shifting something, because, man, that stuff is wild, and you never know who playing a game. And I knew at an early age, like, you don't know who the fool is when you see people arguing in them places. You don't know who's really there because they care or who's there because they just trying to get to a certain place. And I be like really having emotions around stuff like that. Like, I'm a Cancer, so I be like, don't be lying to me and using me to get to where you trying to get to. So I be hurt a lot of times, and people know I just be like, Dag, if you stayed down and stayed true to the village, you could have actually did more than if you were the city council or if you were the mayor. You could have worked several initiatives, figured out how to get the bag. It could be a Kickstarter. It could be a Substack. It could be fundraisers. But you don't necessarily got to do it any way that anybody else has done it.
True.
Like when I came home, I didn't see people teaching anything, let alone criminal justice.
Right.
I saw it though. And people was like, you ain't going to be a teacher. Them students going to eat you up. They not going to let you teach with felonies. And I still was in a gang file when I started teaching.
Yeah.
They still had me documented as a gang person. I'm like, you think I'm teaching every week and still in the gang?
That doesn't make any sense. But
So for me, politically, I support candidates. I know how important it is.
Yeah.
But it's not a space I would thrive in.
Okay. Well, scratch that. That's off the table then. So you know how when you had said documentary, but what about in a full length movie? Who plays you in a movie? Because your life could be
Myself.
a movie.
No, I'm playing myself.
You
People
play
be
yourself?
asking me that. That's funny. I will never let somebody do a movie on me, man. Like,
You play yourself?
no, I can't. I mean, I'm joking, man. I can't do that, especially a younger Jason. Ain't no way I can pull that off.
You can't be an 18-year-old Jason when you're 47.
Not at all. It wouldn't. It wouldn't work. But no, I don't know. I don't know who got my
Would you like that?
mannerisms or what? What?
Would
a
you
movie?
Yeah.
Not at all.
A movie
Like
made
I'm
about
not
your
having I don't see it. I don't see that.
Okay.
But I do see documentaries where there's glimpses of my life. So where it's like those years in Iowa, if I did capture it, it'd be like kind of like if you saw Colin Kaepernick's Black and White series where he struggled and he had an afro.
Yeah.
Like I had a racist basketball coach and I had a huge afro. Like I had my hair braided sometimes. And 1994, you wasn't really seeing that like that. You know what I mean? Where you got this kid from Chicago, gang tattoo. And I just didn't have a lot of family in Iowa. Like I said, I had an auntie. So she got to work. So I really pretty much was on my own. And by my senior year, I was homeless because it didn't work out. So I'm the little throwaway kid that could ball like crazy because that's all they really see. They don't see me as like somebody who should be this or be
Elevated.
We don't know if I'm going to make it. Like, it's people coming to fight me at my school. And I need a gun for protection against them because they grown men. So I used to deal with real situations where other kids could be kids. So it's like for me, I've always had to like have the wherewithal that, you know, it's like do things that you can hold, do things that you can do well, do things. But the advice I got along the way, like the same people you see on the way up is the same people you gonna see on the way down.
Right.
Like in my Elder Mahmoud El Khati, 2004, he said, Jason, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And when people was give me that kind of wisdom, I held on to it.
Yes.
I never let.
I was going to say, please say that again.
If you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And when he said that, I said, I'm taking this serious. I ain't know it'll lead to a master's. I'm going for a PhD. I ain't know all of that, you know.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't think it to lead to me teaching 16 years and to have different presidents of universities saying I'm one of the best professors that's been on their campuses. I never dreamed of those things. So I got a lot to give.
Yeah.
I have to give it in different ways because I just can't. My wins always have to lead to more things for the people.
Yeah.
Has to.
Yeah.
Don't work no other way. If I don't get more people pardoned, or if I don't get more people to be professors who've fallen short, or if I don't get survivors to get justice from something that happened a long time ago, I'm not who I am. So it's like if I stay true to what I know I can do with the skill sets I have, and I show people what I see in them, I realize what I'm unlocking. And that's what most people know me as. Like, I try to be the best mentor I could be to people out here.
Wow. Well, I mean, I said this earlier. You're very inspiring, and that's why I ask about the movie thing.
Because,
you know,
I can't see a movie. All I can see is
a documentary,
snippets of these things I'm saying to you. I could see
yeah.
something where Mahmoud is giving me that lesson. And I was volunteering at the Hub Center at that time. And my wife was my girlfriend at the time. I got her to volunteer at there. And then for him to say that at a time where I was facing like 110 months and to write me a letter on my behalf, he had never really tell those stories. But for me, I could see those moments showing up in the film. Also, ancestor Chuck McDough, he the co-founder of SNCC. So back in the day, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, they would challenge Dr. King. These were 15, 16-year-olds.
Okay.
And the movie Freedom Song is after Chuck McDo. But it was fate that when I went to Metro State 2004, that he became my advisor of the Black Student Union. He let me throw his retirement party. You know how much stress it is to throw somebody's retirement? Like, I'm not just talking about the stuff at that Founders Hall with the big event. Like, we brought Julian Bond on campus. He introduced me to Angela Davis, Freedom School, going out to Tennessee to Alex Haley Farm. 2004 to 2006, we were creating a culture out here, a movement. Like, me being president wasn't just for the school.
Yeah.
So if I took snippets of those moments where Chuck McDo said, Jason, go ahead, shut down that editorial board if you want to. And I said, no, Chuck, I'm about to get some people fired. They should have never put the word nigger in any article. Think we didn't get people fired?
Oh, my God.
They lost their jobs playing in that place. But for me, I see snippets of that being captured somehow, but a full-length movie, man, because it's like, if my mom and my siblings co-signed that, because it was a lot of bad days before it got good.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with all the bad days, and we've all got healing and all, grown. But it's like, I don't know, a movie, some of those moments would be too sad, especially when I got shot. I can't see my mom watching a scene like that, you know what I mean? And it was a pivotal moment because, like I said, it was like Gotham City out here the night I got shot. Police everywhere, taking people to jail, locking people up. They stopped my friends 4 times in the same night I got shot. My friends found out by police that I got shot. Get pulled over, Jason got shot. What? That's how a lot of people that night knew I got shot, from police saying, no, he got shot, get out the car.
My gosh.
So to go from that, I don't want my mom, because even when she got the news, that scene would be too much, because I called her when I was in the hospital. And she like, no, I'm coming to Minnesota. And I said, no, when they let me out of here, there is a way I can get there, but it's going to take me a few days because, like I say, I got metal. I got a rod and screws in my leg, broke my femur bone.
Yeah.
You can't walk on that for a long time. You got to go through therapy and all of that. I said, but I got a way to get there in a few days. I'm still on probation. My PO kind of understands. They know, like, I'm the victim in this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I got shot up. Like, I could have lost my life in this. But to tell my mom, like, you just got to hold on. Like, I'm good. Like, my faculty's good. I feel like I'm going to make it out of here. Because I've seen people be in the hospital, feel like they going to leave, and they pass away. Lung collapse and stuff. I lost friends to stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure I could get out of there, let her know I'm coming to see her. And even handling that amongst her and her sisters and all of that, I set my family back in a lot of ways. They always felt like I had something to do. I was hitting game-winning shots at 12 and stuff in Chicago. I was getting coached by Craig Hodges. I played 94. Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, all of them was at the camp I was at. I was hot.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I hooped. Like, people on my team went to the NBA. Like, things like that. So, and I got, like, All-State in Iowa, captain of the team. Yeah. So, I've always been given a lot of responsibility, whether it's gang, captain of the team, NAACP president. I don't know a life without people saying, you should do this. Yeah. And that's how it sparks. But being able to be flexible enough and nimble enough to say, that's an opportunity I could hold. Yeah. I can do that for a few months. So we are looking at a lot of films because even throughout the course of this pardon journey, when I look at all the interviews I did with Georgia that we never showed, I'm talking, it's a lot of footage. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That could be its own documentary.
Yeah,
right?
So I could see documentaries that are snippets, 12, 13 minutes, maybe even up to 27, 28, but nothing longer than that.
I know you're saying no, but I think if the right person approached you and said, there's a way we can share your story, they're creative with editing, you know what I mean? They don't have to reenact that whole scene if you feel like it would be too difficult, but there's a lot there. I'm making sure I look at the time this time so we don't go. I want to know about your legacy, right? The legacy that you will leave behind, right? What do you think? Do you think about your legacy?
Not at all. You
don't think about your legacy? No? Why?
I don't really want to be remembered. I'm not trying to be, I'm gonna be dead. Shit, I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
Be that as it may.
No, I'm joking. No, it ain't like that. But shoot, I mean, I'm not going. It ain't like I get to hear. I mean, my children are well rounded. You know, being able to see them, you know, still be able to have their fun, go out, hang out New Year's 2, 3. I trust my 18-year-old for her to be in Atlanta, navigating there, you know, handling school, working her job when she's in town. She's very responsible. So when I look at my kids and I look at my nieces in Illinois and I'm looking around at all the people I'm mentoring or in relationship with, I'm looking like that's the beauty of what I do. Whether a story or something comes out where people remember me, that's cool. But I just want people to be able to like carry the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think I got the best relationships out of anybody. Like I do this with a childhood friend. Humanize My Hood. It started with somebody who was talking stuff to me at 16 years old, thought he was a better basketball player. Yeah. And after I beat him 100 times on his rim, we became friends. But it started out with conflict. And for us to still be tight 30 years later, I still got day ones, people from my sandlot. Like I carried a lot of caskets because I lost a lot of people. I have to give. I have to, like, I don't know a life without being a servant. Yeah. I don't. My mom used to say, you're going to get killed jumping in stuff that ain't yours. But let me hear about a girl getting raped. You better believe we moving on that. 18, 19 years old. Like I said, I ain't proud of everything. I talked about that in the book, too, where it's like people used to come to me and say, Jason, man, you know, he abused me. What? So I never let stuff just fly or stand next to something that was whack. I tried to stay on the right side of things every time. Sure. So it's like I made mistakes, I failed, but it's like my legacy is, did I show somebody another way? Did I help them get to their next thing? I care about your next thing. I care about you just being well for you. I'm not showing up in any relationship where it's like, Jimmy, I'm extracting from you. No, I'm comfortable in my talent. If I put this book together right, or I do my audio book for my first book, or I do this, I know I can run a bag up. Like I said, I was 15. I had thousands of dollars. When I got shot, like I said, it wasn't the right way, but it still took a level of organization. It took a level of savvy. It took a level of, hey, I got 100,000 to feed this many people over this amount of time. Yes. Then it went to college. Then it went to other things. I'm trying to help people find their evolutions. When I look at somebody like Malcolm X, he went through like more human transitions than really anybody. He was Dirty Red, then Malcolm X, then Malik House, Shabazz, and he was evolving. I just think we got so many iterations of ourselves. Like I wrote my memoir 2014. I've done my best stuff since then. Like I feel like that was premature. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, if I did a movie, who's to say what I'm gonna do in 20 years if I get there? Yeah, I might do my best work in 10 or 12. Most people. But what
about everything that's happened from 2014 to now?
I try to give you, like I say, check the Humanize My Hoodie documentary. Check the book. Check we did the projects with 1 million experiments. Look at the stuff, the video I did in Canada. We did a youth symposium there in May. I think there's enough out there that you can just latch on and say, Jason Soul lived his life this way while he was here, but I hope to inspire everybody to be a good servant, be a good guest. When I've traveled across the country to Hawaii to do work, or San Francisco 4 times a year to do restorative justice, or Alabama or Texas, I bring my best, and I'm a great guest. So that's what I want people to carry forth. Like, fuck my name. Excuse me. Like, forget my name. Okay, all right, forget my name. Yeah. Do what I do. Show up like I do. Show up with love, man. You ain't got to manipulate nobody or do something to somebody to get what you're trying to get. I hope that reigns over anything else.
That's a beautiful place to beautiful legacy that you want to leave behind there. See how you came back to that too? I was like, what do you want your legacy to be? I'm going to be dead. And a legacy will remain out there whether you wanted it to or not. So if you can curate what that is, right? And you're doing that, you know, you're doing that. My last question for you, can you believe the time went so fast? My last question for you, Jason, is what would people be surprised to learn about you?
What would people? But I don't know. I just started watching Breaking Bad a couple of days ago. I never got into that. Let me see. But I don't have an Instagram. I think people find that interesting. Like because I've always said I've never been tech savvy, and after Facebook and Twitter, and they like, hey, it's a new thing, I quit. I said, man, I don't care what comes after this. Like, I'm done. So when people say, man, what's your Instagram? Because they feel like that's a place I should be sharing some of this stuff that I'm doing. Because I've been able to, the people I've been able to meet along this journey, and the people who have like shared with me how they do what they do. Yeah. Like Lynn nodded, she shared how she gathers her research in small towns, but she does her writing at the New York Public Library. And then Alex Vitale, a best-selling author, he shows me how he takes a 7-hour flight to London and sells most of his books, because in London, they're excited for what he's doing in New York. So learning stuff like that, how other people move and how other people operate, that's what I'm most into. You know what I mean? That's what feels, really good for me. And wherever those things take me, I feel best about. But what was the question? My question was what will people be surprised to learn about you? Yeah, I think people will be surprised to know, like, I mean, it's a lot of wild things, but but J. Cole is like my favorite. He's my favorite rapper, and I'm like the biggest fan. I go to his festival every year, and he sent me a gift. He sent me a Sprite can, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Said thanks for what you do and shit like that. And he actually shouted me out at the sold out Target Center event. Looked up, said, man, I love your hoodie. And it was humanized my hoodie. Like, it was a bigger version. So it's stuff like that. I just be like, dang. And like I told you, I got a John Legend award. Yeah. Like, for John Legend, like, I had to tell people, I do not know this man. Yes. He's not a friend. And I was shocked to know that his name ain't John Legend. I'm like, man, I checked it out. His name ain't John Legend. So I've had so many shocking things. Yeah. I don't really know what to say. Or this is what I'll say. My favorite treat is cotton candy grapes. Cotton candy grapes, okay. That might be something that you can work with. Yeah. It's like one of my favorites. Lots of surprising things. Yeah. Well, you didn't disappoint last time. You didn't disappoint this time. I feel like I could just listen to you all day, because I really, truly, I think I shared this with you before. Like, I really love people's stories, right? I feel that. What you said earlier resonates about everybody's got a book inside of them. I think so. Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. Everybody's got a story to tell. I don't know. I don't want this conversation to end. But thank you so much. Thanks for making the time. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. We see you. Oh, thank you. Keep grinding. Thanks. You have been listening to, watching, being a part of Open Book with Nyia Harris. My guest today, Jason Soul. As I mentioned, we went a little bit off format, but I don't even care, because you just have so much to share. You have so much to share. And I just really, truly appreciate you. Like I said, the conversation before, the conversation today. So thank you so much. Sure. Next week, my guest is Esteban Castillo of Calores. He's actually my neighbor. He's like right there in this building, or in that room. So he'll be joining me, and I'm excited to talk with him. Thank you again to everybody who's been a part of this platform, Power 104.7, for the opportunity. Nate, my podcast editor, all of the guests who've been on so far. I didn't tell you, you're episode 29 today. Okay. So, yes. Sure. Episode 29. So I just want to thank everybody, and have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another, and listen with intent for people's stories. Thanks. Serenade, anatomy for seduction, be this the place with grace.